Hello everyone, it's that teacher here, and today's lesson is going to be on division, level 2. Let's start learning. Welcome back to the channel everyone. We're going to begin our lesson on division level 2. Now level 2 increases in difficulty and moves away from a simple style of division using the division symbol. We're going towards a more algorithm-based style of division, so let's get straight into the lesson. A quick definition of division is the action of separating something into parts or the process of being separated. Now I've put a field here that has a large fissure through the middle to show you that division happens in nature also. Let's get straight into the lesson. Now, knowing your times tables is extremely important. I say in every single maths lesson, this is one of the key foundations for young students to learn. Now, if you have a weakness in certain areas, you're not so good at your 7s, you're not so good at your 9s. If you haven't heard me say this, those are the times tables you need to practice. Write it down, practice it, get somebody at home to quiz you, do something, anything you can to improve your knowledge and understanding in that area of weakness. However, it is so important that you know division here. So I'm going to stress it throughout the whole lesson. You're going to see me actually use multiplication to solve division. So let's move on. Now, parts of a division question. So you can see here that we have 47 divided by 2. Now, the 2 here is called the divisor. That is the number which is we are going to use to divide another number. The 47 is called the dividend. That is the number that is going to be divided by the 2 or be divided by the divisor, okay? Now, the 23 remainder 1. That is called the quotient. The quotient is a fancy mathematical term for the answer. The result of dividing two numbers is the quotient or the answer. Now, in this lesson, we're going to be dealing with remainders. So as you can see here, anything that's left over, anything that doesn't fit evenly into our question, it's going to be left over. It's going to be called a remainder. So that's the symbol there. It's a little lowercase r. Let's move straight on. Now, this is division using no remainders. We have 468 divided by 2. Follow my strategy here, it's super easy. This goes back to your knowledge and understanding of times tables and how it's going to help you. So we need to count up by 2s and see how many 2s can evenly fit in 4. 2, 4. So I literally just use my hands, my fingers. 2, 4. So 2 2s can easily fit into 4. Now, we move to the tens column, which has a 6. How many 2s can fit evenly into that 6? 2, 4, 6. So that answer would be 3. Now finally we have an 8 there going up by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. You can see I'm holding 4 fingers, so that answer would be 234. Now this is where it gets a little bit more tricky. We're going to talk about division with remainders. Now we need to do the exact same process, but I'll show you what to do. Because usually in our last lesson, we had remainders on the end, but there also can be things we need to do when it doesn't quite fit into the first number. We have a little process we need to follow. So how many 2s can fit evenly into 3? 2, 4. It's not 4 because we're larger than 3. We need to go back. So 1, 2 can fit evenly into 3. Now we've used 2 of the 3 numbers. That means we have a remainder. So we need to put that remainder next to the 5 in the tens column. So that 5 is no longer a 5, it becomes a 15. We combine the 2 numbers. So now we need to see how many 2s can fit evenly into 15. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 16's too many, go backwards. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So we have 7 there. We've used 14 of our 15 numbers, which means we have 1 remainder. We need to follow the exact same process. Put the 1 in front of the 3 in the ones column or the units column, depending on what country you're in. That would be 13. Follow exactly the same method. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14's too many, go back 1. 6 is your answer. Now, we have used 2 of the 12 of the 13 numbers. Either way, we have 1 remainder. So that's how you do that. Now, we're going to do the same question with 3s. Now, knowing our 3s, equally important. Knowing all times tables is super important. But This is where I say, if you get one that you're not too confident with, you get a 7 divided by something, that's where you're gonna struggle. So practice those, okay? Now, how many 3s can fit evenly into 4? 3, 6. Can't be 6 because it's more than 4, go back. 1. Now we've used 3 of the 4 numbers. That 1 needs to go next to the 7. That 7 now becomes 17. How many 3s can fit evenly in 17? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18's too many, go back. So you've got 5 there. Now, if your remainder is larger than 1, because we've only really dealt with 1s, you literally have to write the exact remainder you get, 2. So you can see the last number actually becomes 23, okay? So if you had like 6 remainder, you would have to put a 6 there and become 60 something. That's just a process you need to follow to answer these type of questions. So how many 3s can fit evenly into 23? So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24's too many, go back 1, 7. Now we have some left over. We have used 21 of 23. So you can either subtract that or just work it out. The remainder there is 2. So now it's going to be your turn. Hopefully, if you're not too sure, flick back and go through when I guided you through those questions. Here is some for you. As always, depending on whatever country you're on, it's all the same across the globe. Get a book, write it in, and I'll show you the answers at the end. So the answers are coming up. While I've got you here, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. It will help me and help the channel grow. That's my plan. I've got a long-term plan here. We're going to try and pump the numbers up, get as many people onto the channel as we can. Thank you for your support. Let's move on now. Finally, here are your answers. I've included the working out. As you can see, I've put the remainders in red, in red, so you can see them. Hopefully this helps. We're going to move to division level 3, which involves even larger numbers and more uncomfortable times tables, more challenging times tables, 7s and 9s and all the things that will get us a bit more complicated and have a bit more complicated things to do to solve the question. So thank you so much for watching. That's division level 2. It's that teacher. We'll see you in the next lesson.